Okay, here's a little tip on how to coat your drywall screws or nails. These have already been coated a couple times, but we're going to go ahead and do them for you anyway. Basically, you want to make sure all the screws in that are set properly. When we cover that in another video on how to drive drywall screws properly like a pro. But assuming they are, all you want to do on the screws and nails is basically coat them. You can put it on however heavy and then wipe it all back off. You don't really want to leave anything on. Just stand your knife up. I prefer a 6-inch knife. It's got just enough flexibility and rigidity that it does a great job of wiping it back off. But I'm going to show you a little bit faster way, because if you want to get it done quicker than this, there is definitely a way, and it's called slide spotting, and it kind of works like this. You put a decent load on your knife, and then you tilt the knife so that it's starting at the bottom, it's leaned away from the wall, and as you push your knife up the wall, you lean it towards it. It's a lot like coating the joints, only you're doing it sideways, and then you wipe it back off. And when you get good at it, and you've got a lot to do, you can actually get to where you can get it done a whole lot quicker that way. For the bottoms, same procedure. Now, let's say right here, you probably didn't see it. It was one of these holes from the previous demonstration we did. There's a little bit of paper sticking out, and it causes your mud to have a little ripple, say. I don't know if I can get any of these to do it. That one did. You can't hardly see it, but it made a little ripple go right across there where it chattered over the hump. If you're using a 6, most of these have a hammer end, which means you can take and drive in light nails. You generally can't run in or hammer in a screw with these because screws don't hammer well. But just tap it in a little bit, redo it, wipe it off, case solved. If you have a screw like this one, the screw is just barely showing. That's the most it could stick out. There are a couple ways to deal with it. You can put a little bit heavier coat on like that, which will require a slight bit of sanding, or you can drive that screw in with a screwdriver, cordless drill, a hammer, whatever works for you. And then when you get to the second coat, you may want to go over it real lightly just to knock off anything you can't see, because a lot of times there's just little bits of mud here and there, and that can cause you problems when you're trying to do the final coat on the nails. Just brush them real lightly, go over it again, wipe it tight. The less texture that you're putting on, the more coat you'll need. You may need a 3rd coat, but for most texture, 2 coats will cover the screws fine. You may have some problem areas where you got to do more. But that's basically all there is to spotting the screws. I hope that helps. Check out our next video.